They call him Big Baby. And he is a big young stud, a two-time U.S. national gold medalist.
We get things started with this bout. Set for 4 rounds in the heavyweight division. Our judges scoring at ringside are Adelaide Berg, Chris Flores, and Herb Santos. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge of the ring, referee Robert Hoyle. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the blue corner, being presented in association with Antonio Leonard Promotions. He enters the ring wearing black, trimmed in silver and blue, weighing in at an official 233 1/4 pounds. The 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018 U.S. National Amateur Heavyweight Champion. Tonight, making his highly anticipated professional debut, fighting out of Toledo, Ohio, the real Big Baby, Jared Anderson.
All right, gentlemen, we went over the expectations in the dressing room. As you can see, anything on the belt line is low on both of you. Give me a good, clean fight, obey my commands. Touch them up.
You see the height discrepancy between the two, with Jared Anderson a 5-inch height advantage over Daniel Infante. And Bomac, what's going through Jared Anderson's head right now making his pro debut?
Probably ready to get the butterflies out. I know the whole boxing world's got their eyes on this kid. You know, being a top amateur, top one of the guys in the world at heavyweight. They want to see what he's going to do.
It's a 4-round fight, at least scheduled that way. And Bomac, we've seen it before, but these 4-round fights, they're tricky.
Yeah, I'm sure these two guys ran into each other, both of them from Ohio.
Anderson from Toledo, Ohio, and Infante from Youngstown, not too far away. Big left jab from Anderson to start things off. Infante is just 1-2 in his career, and already reddened around the eye.
Oh, that eye on him.
Anderson just manhandling Infante here in the opening minute of this fight. Infante goes down with a left hook to the body. And there is that power from Jared Big Baby Anderson.
That's it. He ain't getting up from that body shot.
Quick work in his pro debut. Jared Anderson, welcome to the big show.
I want to give a shout out to his trainers over there in this corner, Coach K and his other trainer. Those guys, you know, they work really hard with this guy, with Jared.
Darryl Riley, trainer, didn't even have to break a sweat.
Right.
Smile and relief on the 19-year-old prospect.
I like that jab on Jared, man. A nice stiff jab. He established that right away. And, you know, Daniel just couldn't take the jab, started moving backwards.
So a first-round knockout victory for Jared Anderson in his pro debut. Infante cannot get up off the knee after the left hook to the body. And Lupe Contreras will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Robert Hoyle completes the count of 10 with an official time of 54 seconds of the opening stanza, declaring the winner by way of knockout in his pro debut, the real Big Baby, Jared Anderson.
And 1-0 after his pro debut victory in round number 1. More from Reno, Nevada. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN+.
He weighed in at 236.5 pounds, wearing silver trunks with red trim, a record of 3-0. All 3 wins coming by way of knockout. From Toledo, Ohio, Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson.
Come on, 6 rounds. obey my commands. Good luck. Touch gloves now. Let's go to work.
So Anderson and Langston in that ring that is sanitized each and every time there's a fight. They wipe it down, they clean everything. Of course, the fighters, the cornermen, all the staff from Top Rank to the production crew of ESPN, the security, the commission, everybody tested, quarantined at what they termed the bubble at the MGM Grand. And of course, as you know, fanless atmosphere, but you can be part of the noise tonight because we're using Hear Me Cheer, and you can use it on any device to have your voice heard live during our broadcast. You go to espn.hearmecheer.com, espn.hearmecheer.com, and we will use your reaction, your voice, as the fan noise for these fights.
Langston is a solid opponent, good sturdy stance, not a lot of power, decent jab. Oftentimes he'll flick it, but he should give the young fighter Jared Anderson a little bit of a test tonight.
So much more than what we saw Guido Vianello in against with Don Hainsworth, who was dismissed in 1 round.
Exactly.
I don't know if I believe that, Dre. I don't know if I believe that, Dre. He said in the fighter meeting, Langston, I'm talking about, that he only sparred 1 time,
oh, look at
7 rounds to get prepared for this match.
As Langston is opening up wide with those punches, and it was giving Anderson an avenue to deliver a right hand. Now he digs to the body, as does Langston. And there's a good body shot, right hand from the undefeated Ohio native. Raining down right hands for a moment. Big baby Jared Anderson.
Yeah, I want to see
good exchange from both guys right
take his time a little bit. Good exchanges. I want to just see him take his time and set up the attack. You know, he feels that Langston is in trouble. He's bagging him up. But I would love to see Anderson set up his shots, place his shots.
It's hard to tell him that, Tim. He's 20. He's got all the first-round knockouts. He's trying to get another one tonight.
3 straight first-round knockouts. Minutes ago in round number 1 here for Anderson. Undefeated American prospect. Right uppercut rained in and split the guard there against Langston. And then he digs to the body with a right hand again and turns it into an uppercut and then lands a left hook. You know, it's such an intimate setting with this fanless atmosphere, and the sound of the thud of the punches is just dynamic, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Tess. And Anderson right now, yes, he's having his way, but the thing is he's taking some offense from Langston on the way in. Good body
to the body, came back upstairs.
That shot right there is going to be
Anderson.
the difference maker in this fight. Yeah, Anderson is not just head hunting. He's going to the body, and that's going to catch up to Langston, even though this is only a 6-round fight. He's going to feel that.
Punishing attack by Jared Anderson put forth here in round number 1. Goes to the body of Langston again.
No, that was his punch.
Well, this could be a name we're talking about for years to come. The 20-year-old heavyweight prospect, Jared Anderson, in the silver and red. Big baby, the undefeated 20-year-old prospect from Toledo, Ohio. In that first round, he landed 16 of 60 power punches thrown. Take us through this combination.
Tess, this is a beautiful combination right here. I haven't seen this in a long time. You know what, he digs down to the body, and what that does initially, it brings your opponent forward because he has to brace that body shot, and he was lifted up with a short uppercut after that, and then a sweeping left hook. Great combination by the young, talented Anderson.
Yeah, I like how Anderson dropped down as a big 6'4" fighter, 6 feet 4 inch fighter to get that shot. It was what he did before he threw the punches that impressed me.
He has landed 46% of his power punches so far early on here tonight.
So this is what I was talking about in the first round, fellas, that Langston will test Anderson. I'm not saying he'll go to distance. I'm not saying he's going to beat him. I'm not going that far. I'm saying he'll test him, and he'll take some shots, and he'll hit the young fighter back, and that's what you want for a young fighter.
Just want to clean up the CompuBox numbers that were being recalculated as I was looking at the screen there. To this point right now, Jared Anderson, he was 26 of 55 in the first round, 27 of 60 overall in power punch connects. That was a good example, though, with that combination we showed. Now you see some steady work with the jab. 6'4", 236-pound, 20-year-old. You know, you say a 20-year-old, Ray, and I think about a heavyweight, a guy who's, you know, naturally big to begin with, a guy who in many generations recently would have maybe ended up a defensive end in football, but he stayed the course and had boxing as part of his entire youth sports life. Has he fully even gotten his man strength to him yet at 20 years old? He's already 6'4", 236 and looks pretty good.
No. He looks good right now, but I don't mean this in a bad way, but he's still got a baby body. He's 20 years old. Let him get 23, 24, yes. 25. You get what you call man strength. It's a different look, and it's a different feel for the opponent. He's not there yet, but he's on his way.
Right now, Langston is absorbing punishment. Round number 2 here from Anderson. Looking for that uppercut again as he wobbles back. As he gets Langston in trouble here. Half-minute remaining in round number 2.
It's just a matter of time.
Has been effective with Langston leaning forward.
Digging him down to the body, took the air up right out of the sails of Langston.
Doubles up with the left hand to the body. Then goes with the right uppercut and that left hook combination that you enjoyed earlier. Joe Tim and Dre calling Jared Anderson, Johnny Langston here, round number 3. Anderson with a 51-32 connect advantage to this point. You know, we asked him the other day what makes him different from the other heavyweight prospects, and he said his speed and his agility. But the other thing he said, Timmy, is his mind. He has a lot of confidence in his boxing IQ.
You know, that's what it takes to be a great fighter. You got to have a great mind. He has great ability. I can see that right away. He's switching southpaw right now, showing us a different look. But he's also taking a few shots. So he's starting to get a little bit better with his defense.
That corner over there.
You know,
let me look at it.
Tess, you can't give up defense for offense. And occasionally that's what Anderson is doing.
That southpaw stance, he digs with the right hand to the body. Left hand power.
Anderson got hit with a shot because he's landing good body shots, Tess, but he's raising right back up into the punch. And a guy like Langston knows that, and he's catching Anderson on the way out.
Langston clearly affected by that left hand moments ago. Digging to the body, then comes upstairs. Halfway through round number 3, Langston looks very weak on his feet. Bent over right now as Anderson is plowing into that flank. Trying to land an uppercut, see if he can close the show. Langston does not look good at all. That is it. TKO victory, Jared Anderson, round number 3.
Yeah. I mean, where should I really even start? I got keep it in the dark. I got my street in the north. Thinking back to the fact that
he threw 130 power punches and landed 68. In that third round, when it closed the show, he was 24 of 40 on power punches.
He got hit right in the lip with the guy's forehead.
Yeah, Tess, anytime a fighter lands more than 50% of his power shots, that just means it's a knockout. And that's what we had tonight, stoppage. Wasn't a big knockout, but it was a stoppage from the referee. Saw too much damage being done to Langston.
Who's got it? Here we see Anderson's got Langston in the corner, and he's just pounding on him. I would have liked to see Anderson take a half step back to give himself some room. He didn't do it. That'll come up the road. In the meantime, he's just beating on his opponent to the body, to the head. Referee Jay Nady saw enough.
So Jared Anderson is now 4-0 with 4 knockouts. He's got a lot of confidence. He has a lot of growth ahead, and he has time on his side. All right, Dre and Timmy, you get heavyweight prospects in back-to-back fights. Size up Guido against Jared. Where do you see these two guys now that you've seen them in back-to-back fights?
For shape. Conditioning won that fight.
Well, I have to say that Anderson, he shows he has a lot of dimensions. You know, you see him fighting southpaw. You see him digging down to the body, throwing a combination I haven't seen in a while from fighters, digging down to the body and then lifting up with the uppercut. I saw a great, sustainable jab all, you know, for the most part of this fight. And for Guido, you know, I didn't get to see too much of it. You know, I like the fact that he had better balance. I like the fact that he had good movement. I love the stiff jab. And he set up his right hand, and he didn't look reckless like the first time I saw him. So big improvement from Guido. This young man Anderson, I want to continue to see his growth. If he can take some of the things that we talked about tonight and add it to his game, he's going to continue to get better and better over time. But I like what I see.
Dre's got great upside, doesn't he?
Both of them do. I really don't have a lot of complaints. You could always nitpick and say they should do this or do that, but overall, the presence that they both brought to the ring, the way they handled their business, they were patient. You could see the skill, you could see them thinking, and they both closed the show. Great, great fight from both guys, and I'm excited to see them both in the future.
I know you're going to be excited to see your young charge in a moment, Shakur Stevenson, but for now, let's make it official with our second heavyweight fight. Here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jay Nady calls a stop to the bout at 1 minute and 55 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by technical knockout from Toledo, Ohio, Jared, the real big baby, Anderson!
And let's get this started.
Introducing first, out of the blue corner, presented in association with Antonio Leonard Promotions. He weighed in at 249 pounds, wearing pink trunks. He brings a perfect record, 7 wins, no defeats, all 7 victories coming by way of knockout. From Toledo, Ohio, Jared, the real big baby, Anderson. Introducing out of the red corner, he weighed in at 276 pounds, wearing black trunks with white trim. He brings a record of 5 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 4 victories coming by way of knockout. From Kaduna, Nigeria, and fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, Kingsley, the Black Lion, Ibeh!
Okay, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. God bless you both. Touch up.
Russell Moore, the referee. For Ibeh, it's his 4th consecutive bout inside this MGM Grand Bubble. Mark Kriegel, is the label of next great American heavyweight too much, too soon on Jared Anderson?
No, what's the biggest problem in boxing? Fighters you don't know, fighters you don't care about. For Anderson, the hype, the idea of being the next great American heavyweight becomes his identity. That's a good thing. Big fighters need big expectations, fellas.
Dre, he says it's a good thing that it has become his identity of being the next great American heavyweight. When we visit with him, we constantly walk away saying he feels very comfortable, very secure, very contented. He's got a good way about him.
He does, and he looks very content, very comfortable in his first round. But to your point, you know, he's got a polarizing personality, big smile, and a lot of skill to go with it.
Right now, what I love from Anderson is his concentration right now. He has his eyes focused and sealed on Ibeh because he understands what he's up against. He understands that Ibeh has some power to hurt him.
Ibeh's last fight was in early October right here at the MGM Grand Bubble. It was a 6-round draw against the 2016 Italian Olympian, the undefeated pro prospect, Guido Vianello. Oh, there's an exchange, and Ibeh came with a straight left hand as they opened up. Anderson goes to the body with the jab.
This is not supposed to be an easy fight for Anderson. This is the fight that he wanted. Ibeh's a guy who doesn't have a lot of boxing experience, but that's what makes him dangerous. He's crude, he's awkward, and he's willing to fight. So let's see how Anderson responds to some early adversity.
And to add on that, Dre, he's very untraditional, you know, like he throws punches at odd angles. See him switch from southpaw to orthodox right in front of Anderson. Then all of a sudden he'll just explode with a big shot. So
you can see blood coming from the nose of Kingsley Ibeh as Jared Anderson able to get that right hand in against the big 6'4", 276-pounder. Anderson goes to the body, goes back up top with a right hand.
Anderson, with the exception of the one shot he got caught with, is looking very sharp in this first round.
Significant amount of blood now coming from the nose of Ibeh.
And all of this is happening because Anderson has been disciplined with his left jab, his lead hand.
There it is.
But that's what
return fire from Ibeh.
That's what he's got to be careful for, that wide, awkward shot that Ibeh loves to throw.
Out of nowhere. If I'm Anderson right now, I'm going to be very selective with my shots. Anderson is getting comfortable head hunting, but the body is what he needs to work. Work the body, bring those hands down on the big man, and break him down.
Good start for the 21-year-old undefeated Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson outlanded Kingsley Ibeh 27-6 in that opening round. He was 14 of 25 on his power punches, Tim.
Yeah, check out these combinations that Anderson was able to land. Right hand, beautifully timed the jab of Ibeh. That's why he was able to land that shot. And again, a slapping right hand right there and a nice jab to follow up. Ibeh defensively is not that sound defensively, you know. He's a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of experience. He's just an explosive fighter in spots. So Anderson needs to be careful in there and be selective with his shots like he's doing right now.
Dre, Tim mentions the lack of overall experience for Kingsley Ibeh, limited as a boxer, but a former football player, and he's got that build.
Yeah, but a guy his size, that makes him dangerous. What he doesn't know makes him dangerous because he's not getting caught up in this skill game. He just wants to duck his head and land a big shot. And for a young fighter early in his career, that could be problemsome. So he's got to, and I'm talking to Anderson, just has to be disciplined and patient, like Tim said, and then he could potentially get the knockout.
It's interesting, we saw the corner of Jared Anderson. Bernardo, it included the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world, Bud Crawford. What are they saying?
Well, Daryl Riley said, I know that Jared sees the openings I'm seeing, but I need him to settle down, don't rush, take his time and break him down.
Dre, something that you were mentioning in that first round.
Well, he's going to have to do, yeah, he's going to have to do that to soundly beat a fighter like Ibeh without taking any crazy risks. Like, you can get the job done impressively without getting hit with the wild shots that he's been hit with so far. And he's only gotten caught with 2 shots, but they were big shots.
There's that steady work with the jab.
But I do think the first round for Anderson was nearly a perfect round for him. A little anxious, but everything else was clicking.
Off balance that time as he missed with the right hand. Ibeh tried to come back with a right of his own.
But Joe, that right of his own, those are the kind of wild shots that I'm alluding to.
Awkward, off balance, non-conforming, constantly switching stances is Ibeh.
Yeah, he broke a rule. You're not supposed to throw a shot from that angle, but he throws it.
Kingsley Ibeh, originally from Africa, came to the United States at 16 years old. Talked to us about how long it's been since he's seen his brother and his mom in the course of the past 10+ years. As a college football player at Washburn University, Had a cup of coffee with the Calgary Stampeders in the CFL. Coming to the end of 2. First 2 rounds in the bank for the undefeated Jared Anderson, the Toledo native who moved to Houston, Texas just before the holidays. Trains down there with Darryl Riley and Kay Karoma. Through 2 rounds, Dre, he's landing 48% of his jabs.
Yeah, that's the most important punch in boxing, and that's the most important punch for Jared Anderson tonight. See, this left hand that you see right here, this won't get you on a Sports Center top 10, but it will set up the punch that will get you on a Sports Center top 10. So he's got to stay disciplined with that left jab for the duration of this fight.
You see the little antics for both fighters, both guys trying to figure things out, but, you know, Anderson is systematically beating on Ibeh, slowly breaking him down, starting with that jab.
Well, that's what he told us, and I'm talking to Anderson. In the fighter meeting, he said, I want to break down the mind of Ibeh, and then the body will follow.
And that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Minute into round 3, his average fight is 1.7 rounds. His longest fight to date for Anderson was 2:22 of round number 4. Those 7 total fights have lasted 12 rounds.
And to that point, Joe, because Anderson hasn't gone a lot of rounds and hasn't been in a real tough fight yet, it's imperative that he stays focused and doesn't fall asleep, because Ibeh is looking for a big shot. Just like you see right there, he's ducking down, he's looking, he wants Anderson to make a mistake. Anderson has to stay focused for the duration of this fight.
And I believe that Anderson is, and that's the reason why you're seeing the single jabs by him. He's trying to get Ibeh to throw and get off balance so he can catch him on the way in.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Ibeh smiling, saying, please just make a mistake so I can let this left hand go.
Look at that. Perfectly placed right hand down to the body. Now Anderson saying, hey, you gonna switch southpaw? I can switch southpaw too.
Now Ibeh back to orthodox.
Good
That's
shot.
exactly what he was setting up right there. Looking for Ibeh to expose himself with his offense, and then boom, make him pay.
That shot knocked Ibeh back southpaw.
See that blood continuously coming from the nose of Ibeh. That started halfway through round number 1. There's a big smile on the face of the undefeated 21-year-old Ohio native, Jared Anderson. Oh, to be 21 years old and in a cash-heavy heavyweight division, and a very top-heavy division that we will talk about when we return.
I'm letting you guys know right now, you are potentially watching the future heavyweight, American heavyweight, baby. Look at the jab. Beautiful. He cannot miss with that jab. The jab is what sets the table for Anderson. And you see he's landing it very effectively, on point all the time, anytime he wants to. I see later in this fight, I see the right hand coming over the top and the right hand, and the left hook possibly finishing Ibeh.
Joe, Tim, and Dre with you here ringside as we get a peek at 7-0 Jared Anderson. You mentioned the jab. He has landed 35 of 81 thrown. Round number 4 scheduled for 6. Remember, the longest fight he has had to date is 2:22 of round number 4. You see the total jabs that we mentioned through 3 rounds, and total punches he's outlanding Ibeh 65-12. Dre, this heavyweight division, obviously, you sit back at 21 years old. You got time. You got time. In the lower weight classes, and we're going to have a visit with Teofimo Lopez. You got an undisputed champion at 23. But here you got time, because sitting there is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. And we know that soon we expect for an official word that they will be fighting in late spring, early summer, and possibly 2 fights. And there's Deontay Wilder still out there, and Andy Ruiz making a comeback, and familiar names like the veteran Povetkin and Parker and Usyk, who's a cruiserweight undisputed champion, moving up to heavyweight. He can take his time and put bricks in the foundation.
Yes, he can. And the beautiful thing about the heavyweight division is, even though it is top heavy, there's a lot of top contenders that a young fighter can work his way to, you know, big name guys within the sport where they can make a decent amount of money, keep sharpening their skills and prepare for when that moment comes.
Yeah, decent amount of money. Have you been reading the headlines as to what they think Fury and Joshua could be pulling down?
No, I have not.
Oh, well.
That's Mayweather money.
Widely reported that Fury and Joshua will fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world come late spring.
See, I think in these situations right here, the onus is on Jared Anderson because nobody expects Ibeh to win this fight, but the world is watching Anderson saying, show us something, give us a reason to get behind you, give us a reason to support you. So sometimes winning is not just enough. Yes, be smart, but he wants to make sure he closes the show in the right way.
It's time for a changeup. You know, he's got him used to the jab. Lead with the left hook as opposed to the jab. And I'm talking about for Anderson, that's what he should do.
Because Ibeh's doing what he's supposed to do. He's surviving right now. He said, hey, you won't do anything, I won't do anything.
Back here live in Vegas, strong night of action on Top Rank. Richard Comey, the former lightweight champion who was knocked out by Teofimo Lopez 14 months ago, makes his return. It comes in our main event later tonight against Jackson Marinez. We also have Adam Lopez and Jason Sanchez in a very important 10-round featherweight fight. And you see right there Comey in the locker room. He had a visit with Teofimo Lopez, who is here ringside. We will hear from the undisputed champion in just a little bit. This is round number 5. The undefeated Jared Anderson in complete control. He has outlanded Kingsley Ibeh to this point, 79-15.
Tess, I like what I'm seeing from Anderson. You know, he's been very patient. You know, these are growing pains for him. Not a problem. You know, this is the longest I've seen him in a fight. Ibeh is not an easy guy to face, man. You know, he's a guy that has punching power. He's a guy that explode at any moment with a shot. Anderson is doing the right thing, using his jab, staying composed, and just waiting on the right opportunity to land the shot.
It is now the longest fight of his career, Timmy, as we're here into round 5.
When Ibeh's on the ropes like that, trying to rest and buy time, I think that's a good time for Anderson to pick up his left hand, pick up his jab, not just to the head, but to the body. Stab him to the body, steal win from him, and send a message to Ibeh that I'm not going to let you rest. Yeah, I'm going to be smart, but I'm going to steal win if you want to sit on these ropes like that.
And to add to that, I believe that he needs to add some more feints to his game as well. You know, get Ibeh to commit off the feints.
You see in the corner of your screen what's coming up a week from right now, and that is Miguel Berchelt against Oscar Valdez in what is one of the most anticipated Mexican versus Mexican warrior fights we've had in some time. You know, the great history and tradition of those countrymen fighting through the years. 5 times in the last 20 years, the fight of the year has been between Mexican fighters, and that world championship fight at 130 pounds will be on ESPN next week. And look at Jared Anderson.
Anderson doesn't really fight like a heavyweight.
No, he doesn't.
He's like a middleweight trapped in a heavyweight's body. He's got that mentality of quickness, speed, and flair. He doesn't lumber around like a typical heavyweight. Decent shot from Ibeh right there that grazed the temple of Anderson.
Well, that is something that is said of the #1 heavyweight in the world as well, Tyson Fury, who at 6'9", 270+ pounds, is often mentioned as a guy who fights and has the agility and nimbleness of a middleweight. And it was Jared Anderson who was his chief sparring partner when he got ready for Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I think Fury's a light heavyweight trapped in a heavyweight's body.
Back here live in Vegas, 6th and final round in our heavyweight opener. Jared Anderson has been in complete control, dominating Kingsley Ibeh. 7-0, 21-year-old heavyweight prospect. Could be his first distance fight. 7 knockouts in his 7 wins.
You know, if there's nothing there for a fighter when he's dominating, keep doing what you're doing. and get the decision win. But if there's opportunity to step it up and close the show, you should do that. And I think there is opportunity for Anderson. He has to be smart, and I can't say that enough, but there is opportunity.
Just tagged him with a right hand. Ibeh is coming forward now. Perhaps that's where the opportunity comes for.
That right uppercut to the body from Anderson was mean a few seconds ago.
Two-punch combination from Jared.
So you see the reaction from Ibeh. He's starting to break him down. That's what I mean when I say there's opportunity. Don't let him sort of, steal the fight by just, going the distance by kind of staying on the ropes and making you think he's going to do something. Press him and make him prove it.
What you're saying is that he just need to get a little bit more consistent with his jab and start piecing punches together instead of throwing one shot at a time.
And Anderson will be in range to get hit.
Just like he's doing here.
His offense is a lot more explosive than Ibeh's.
Just as he's doing right here. Needs to keep piecing them together.
Significant amount of blood now coming from both the nose and the mouth of Kingsley Ibeh. Halfway through the sixth and final round, can Jared Anderson keep the knockout streak alive? Three-punch combination.
Jeez. Ibeh's ready to go. You just got to give him a little help.
Push him out the door, Andre.
More work from that jab of Anderson.
Good shot.
Russell Mora is telling Kingsley Ibeh, you got to show me something. He's thinking about stopping the fight with the damage Ibeh is taking. Big guy, former football player, 6'4", 276, and he's absorbing a lot of punishment, and a big left hand will end the night. Jared Anderson, 8 for 8, explosive finish.
He's still out, Joe. He's still out.
Hurt bad.
Kingsley Ibeh is laid out.
Anderson being very smart right there, feigning before he actually attacked. Nice block right there and came back with offense and caught him with a nice, beautiful short left hook in the inside, right on the chin. Ibeh was pretty much ready to go, and we said early on that he had to get a little more consistent with his offense, and if he gets a little bit more consistent with his offense, he could get the stoppage.
Yeah, he closed the show just like we said, and you can see in the eyes of Ibeh that he was ready to go, but, he's been around the game long enough to know how to survive, and Anderson didn't give him that opportunity. A great step back, beautiful right hand to the top of the head, and a left hook that literally turned the lights out of Ibeh. That was the SportsCenter type 10 shot. Top 10 shot that we were talking about.
Oh, you are going to see that everywhere. That right hand to the temple and then the short left. And you could see the eyes roll back in Kingsley Ibeh's head. He was out before he hit the ring.
Yes.
And it's great to see him up. All right, let's make it official. Jared Anderson does it again. Here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside MGM Grand, this bout comes to a stop at 2 minutes, 19 seconds of the sixth round. For your winner by knockout, Jared, the real big baby, Anderson.
8-0, 8 knockouts, 6-round KO from the guy originally from Toledo, Ohio, Jared Anderson.
And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing camouflage trunks, hailing from Toledo, Ohio. He weighed in at 240 pounds. His record is perfect. 9 wins, no losses, with all 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the undefeated, hard-hitting sensation, introducing Jared, Big Baby Anderson. And our referee in charge now to give instructions, Kenny Bayless.
Trunks okay here, trunks okay here. Now, gentlemen, we're going to rules in the dressing room. Again, I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck. Touch him up.
for his second world title in as many divisions, coming up October 23rd in Atlanta, Georgia, against the champ, Jamel Herring. And here we go, round one, opening the pay-per-view. Jared Anderson in the army fatigue trunks and Vladimir Tereshkin in the red trunks. Right away, you can see the size difference. Tereshkin, it's a pretty big dude, right?
He's a big guy, and right now, Anderson, a few moments ago, just clipped him with the right hand, but I think the speed and the power punching ability of Anderson will frustrate Tereshkin. However, Tereshkin just looks like he looks like a bear, is what I'll tell you, Christina, and I think it'd be wise for him to try to crowd him like a bear to smother the shots of Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson is typically the bigger man when he's in there in the ring, and you can just tell by his broad shoulders, but he's actually slimmed out a little bit for this fight. In fact, even, you know, got some abs underneath that body of his, coming in at 240 pounds for this fight, and coming off the longest layoff of his career, just 182 days, which some people may say is not too much, but for him, it's just been a time for him to kind of rest after a busy 2020 and early 2021 as he gets a right hand in there. Him and Tereshkin firing at the same time.
Good stiff jab by Anderson, and he's under the guidance of Kei Karoma, who I think is one of the best trainers in the sport today.
Kei Karoma was already in the ring once tonight. He had the pro debut of Bruce Carrington, who looked spectacular tonight, collecting a unanimous decision victory. And then he also is the lead trainer for Efe Ajagba in our co-main event.
He's a busy man, is Kei Karoma, but right now Jared Anderson is trying to be busy with his jab.
Establishing the jab was something that he talked to us about on the conference call. He says, I'm okay to go in there, box, get some rounds in. Yes, he has 9 knockouts in all 9 of his fights, but I'm okay with working, getting rounds in, working down to the body, and breaking down my opponent round by round. I'm not looking for a quick knockout, unless, of course, it comes.
Well, you know what? The thing for Anderson is that this is a big moment for him. He's looking to crack the double-digit win mark, and fighting on a card of this magnitude to start off the televised portion, I think is significant, because this is his big introduction to the rest of the world as to who is this Jared Anderson fighter, and this is a wonderful way for him to go ahead and display that.
Well, many people got to know Jared as being a sparring partner for Tyson Fury. He first sparred with Tyson in the lead up to Wilder Fury 2.
Work out.
Always Tyson was quick to give praise to his sparring partners, would mention Jared's name. In fact, said that when all is said and done with Tyson, he thinks Jared will be the next great heavyweight champion. So Jared's looking to back that up tonight on his undercard and making his pay-per-view debut.
And also Anderson, he told us that he's curious to see where he goes in his career. He goes, I'm only 21 years of age, but I kind of want to move quickly.
Well, they're moving it pretty quickly. I mean, fight number 10, and you're already opening up a pay-per-view for Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I'd say so far so good for that young man. And so off the stool as we get ready for round 2. This fight scheduled for 8 rounds for the junior NABF heavyweight title. Still to come, the rematch between Adam Kovnatsky and Robert Helenius. And then our co-main event, Frank Sanchez versus Efe Ajagba. And then, of course, the main event, the WBC and Lineal World Championship fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Christina Poncher and Ray Flores here with you.
Christina, this place is going to, I don't even know if the roof will be on T-Mobile Arena after that main event.
Work out. Stop.
I mean, it's just been so long in the making. I mean, even people up until yesterday were still nervous that we were actually going to get these guys into the ring tomorrow night. But they are here. They are in the building. And they will be in the ring in just a few hours here. Oh, big right hand and left followed from Jared Anderson. Really nice 1-2 combination.
We're starting to see that Anderson is stringing together combination punches. It's not just one shot at a time. I think they are trying to put a strong emphasis with him to put together combinations to affect and disrupt the rhythm of Tereshkin.
And Tereshkin, being the southpaw, Jared did admit that he didn't have a ton of southpaw sparring to get him really ready for this fight in particular. Had a great amateur career. Obviously has sparred, has fought several southpaws as an amateur, but I was still confident in his preparation.
And I'm confident in the fact that when you're sparring Tyson Fury, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, what else do you really need? Let's be honest here.
Well, and not only him. I mean, he has sparred F.A. Ajagba, he's sparred Brian Jennings, he's sparred before Joe Joyce, he has sparred Joseph Parker. I mean, he's been across from men that have won multiple world titles, and yet, you know, I said, what kind of confidence does that give you going in against a guy like this? And he's like, well, yes, there's headgear in different glove sizes, but I know
Work out.
leaps and bounds above these guys.
And you know what? I like the confidence with Anderson, but it isn't in arrogance. It is a self-belief that he has in his skill set. But he's also open to be able to take instructions, and you want a fighter that you're able to work with.
Kenny Bayless warning them for the hold as Tereshkin has kind of laid his body at times on Jared Anderson as he's trying to establish that left hand to the body. Chopping right hand, two of them has Tereshkin a little wobbled here as he backs into the corner. Another right hand, big left hand. Jared trying to create some space.
Kenny Bayless is ready to jump in there because he sees that Tereshkin's in a heap of trouble.
Tereshkin trying to answer with the punches to keep himself in this fight. Can Jared Anderson get him out of here in the second round and make the statement that he wanted? Tereshkin looks off to the referee, and it is over. It is a round 2 TKO, Jared Anderson.
Jared Anderson didn't just look good, he looked great. 10-0 with 10 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Jared Anderson. Keep an eye on this young man.
As we take a look at a few of the replays, check out this angle.
Oh, the jab followed by the right hand, and then, as you saw Tereshkin trying to hold on, big shots coming your way. Get ready for them. Are you guys ready? Bang, here we go. Kenny Bayless watching the action, target practice, the left hook. And then again, he steps away, the jab right there, pestering the base of Tereshkin. The right hand over the top, full extension, power at the end of the shot, and then bang, a sharp shot on the inside, right on the jaw, and Tereshkin was in deep trouble. But it all started off, Christina, with the jab.
The jab that set up the right hand. I mean, boxing can be so simple when you do the basic things well. They wanted to establish the jab from the beginning. They did it, and it perfectly set up that right hand.
And as Anderson using his physicality, this is a guy that likes to get rough and tumble. As you see him right there, just unloading big shots in his arsenal. Kenny Bayless waiting for the opening. Tereshkin was trying to throw and fought valiantly, but then he just kept getting popped and unloaded upon as he had a young, hungry lion in front of him.
And it was kind of the look. You'll see it in just a minute. When he looks right there with the mouthpiece almost ready to be spit out. That led Kenny Bayless to know he's had enough, he's seen enough. Here's Jimmy Lennon
Ladies
Jr.
and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 51 seconds in round number 2. A referee in charge, Kenny Bayless, calls a halt to the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated. And now the NABF heavyweight champion, Jared Big Baby Anderson.
And I have a feeling, Ray, that is the first of many belts. I'll go out and say it, many belts that I think that Jared Anderson has the potential to collect in his...
Presented in association with Antonio Leonard Promotions. He weighed in at 240 pounds, wearing white trunks with black trim. He brings a perfect record into the ring. 10 wins, no defeats, all 10 victories coming by way of knockout. Proudly representing his hometown of Toledo, Ohio, Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson!
The most highly touted current heavyweight.
All right, bring it in, let's go.
He stepped up a few times. Last winter he fought Kingsley Ibeh and had a sensational knockout there. His last fight, October 9th, second round TKO against the previously undefeated Vladimir Tereshkin. And now this. Sasha Teslenko, 6-year pro, had been based in Canada, returned home to Ukraine. Says that has helped him out in so many ways.
Bring it over. All right, fellas, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Keep the bout clean. Touch him up, Touch him up. Let's go. Good luck.
Testator, did they both look 6'4" to you when they stood face to face?
Over here.
And he's only 213 pounds, but it is on a tall frame. Anderson goes 240.
Anderson choosing to come out in the southpaw stance. I told you he's ambidextrous. He can actually fight both ways, orthodox or southpaw.
There's a left hand to the body, left hand upstairs as well. Very accurate early on from that southpaw stance. Teslenko comes firing back.
Watch his feet.
Right hand to the body from the Ukrainian.
Teslenko has a great right hand. Quick on the trigger with it. He does it upstairs and he does it downstairs, as you can see.
Thing about that European styles, they don't cock the right hand, they just shoot it right where it is. And oftentimes American fighters aren't ready for it because they're used to seeing it before it comes, not when you're facing a guy with this kind of ability.
Oh, there it is again.
Ooh, comes at short range.
That last shot from Anderson got Teslenko's attention for sure.
And that right hand, as many of his right hands, left hand, as many of them do.
I don't think Teslenko planned that he's going to be facing the southpaw. But the good thing, and to his credit, is he does have an extensive amateur background. Ooh. Ooh. Jared got caught right there.
Yeah, when he crosses that threshold to the inside, that's happened twice now.
I like what Anderson is doing. He's not just reaching for the head. He's taking that left hand straight to the solar plex of Teslenko.
You can also see some red on that spot, Dre. USA chant has started up here at Madison Square Garden as this place is now filling up in anticipation for Lomachenko and Comey.
Anderson just better be careful not to walk in, straight in.
Yes.
That right hand is waiting on him of Teslenko. There it is.
Combination from Jared Anderson sends Teslenko back. So you say the opportunity exists for Teslenko, but you see the power and the skill of Anderson. Fun to have the heavyweights in the ring at MSG, isn't it? Boxing back in the big room. Good finish by Anderson at the end of one. With 9 knockouts, but based on this year, 6-0 this year, and sensational every time out. Tim, many believe he will be named Prospect of the Year.
No doubt in my mind he was going to be Prospect of the Year. And you got to account also for the age for the young man. Not only is he busy, but he's a young prospect. And putting on performances like that, I mean, it was a well-matched fight, don't get me wrong. But the way he did it is what impressed me most.
Hey, Timmy, I thought Keyshawn was a Prospect of the Year.
No, not yet. He's in my top 10 already.
Okay, all right.
I'll let you know that.
All right, thank you, man. Just get it straight.
In that first round, Jared Anderson had a 30-10 connect advantage.
Anderson's corner told him to settle down, and those were the right instructions because he took some unnecessary shots. Teslenko's not a guy that you just don't respect. So you see Anderson being a little bit more deliberate this round, and you see the payoff. He's getting his. Teslenko is not getting his.
Heavyweight from Toledo, Ohio, Dre, who's gotten rid of all 10 opponents.
Well, I could tell right away Anderson definitely watching film. We discussed it a little bit in the fighter meeting, and I said, well, champ, what did you see? And he said, well, he does have some heart. I said, I don't think so.
Right hand, left hand, Teslenko crumbles to the ground.
6, 7, 8, 9. Walk to me. That's it.
Yep.
It is over. I mean, that was pure power from Jared Anderson. 11-0, 11 knockouts. He says, keep asking the question. Is he the next great heavyweight?
Just a beautiful finish from Anderson, just taking his time, jabbing, blinding Teslenko so he can land that big shot. That shot, he threw that shot in the first round but wasn't able to land it. Here we see again, just a flick, eyes closed from Teslenko. He thought another jab was coming, but it was a right hand to the temple. And then you see the big man go down, and you see Anderson, Teslenko, he got up, but he was done. And that was a great stoppage from the referee. But again, it was set up. It was intentional, and he was mindful about what he was doing, and this is the kind of results you get.
Big baby. See you right there on the mouthpiece. Toledo, Ohio.
Ladies and gentlemen, here inside Madison Square Garden, referee Danny Schiavone calls a halt to this bout at 1 minute 33 seconds of round number 2 for your winner by technical knockout and still junior NABF heavyweight champion, Jared, the real big baby, Anderson.
11-0, 11 knockouts. Timmy, I think it's almost more impressive to even watch it in real speed, just so you can see the power come through the glove. Look what we're talking about here. Right there, did you hear it?
Yes, I did. That's the sound of leather in a cast, hitting the head of another man.
9. Walk to me. That's it.
Jared Anderson's with Bernardo.
Jared, I can't let you go without talking about that outfit, the swag coming in. Madison Square Garden, it's a fighter's dream come true. What was this all about?
Man, I want to give a shout out, man, to Dominique Davis, man, a true brother, a true supporter. He helped me get here. I just want to give that shout out to him. But I'm blessed. It means everything to me. I wouldn't be here without my team. I'm so thankful for my manager, my promoter, my coaches, and my family. You know, I'm here at 11-0, co-main event. Madison Square Garden, the best team in boxing, you know. So like I said, I'm thankful for them, and I'm blessed. And I'm thankful for all the fans, y'all out here cheering me on. And y'all did a great job, man. Y'all here.
You come out southpaw, and then things change when you go back to your orthodox stance. Walk me through that change.
We came in, we wanted to confuse him. So we went southpaw. I think we did just that. And by the time we switched back in the next round, he didn't know what was coming. And you see, he ended up on the mat.
His corner did tell me they had no idea that you were going to come out southpaw. So it did work. Once you settled into the southpaw stance, you finished the fight. It's hard to punch through a guy's gloves and still get that shot to the temple to knock him out. What does that say about where you are?
That we coming, we working. We in and out the gym as soon as we get out the gym, we right back in it, you know. So just know, be on standby. It's big business coming.
You said that you're at your best when you have to go through adversity. You had adversity in this camp, and you came out and shined. Are you, as the question you wanted asked, the next great American heavyweight?
Well, I think it's still a question, ain't it? No. I want everybody to keep that question. You know, if you don't believe it, keep questioning. You know, I'm gonna prove you right, prove you wrong, whichever one you want to go for.
Tim Bradley wants to know if he can have the hat as we send it down to Joe.
Hey Tim, you can't have this, but you can rock it.
If I can fit it.
He's a great personality. He's a heck of a fighter. He's got power, and he's got a very bright future. As for that future, as you see the team there, here's Mark Chinook.
Ladies and gentlemen, we return to the action inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. This is boxing. This is Top Rank. Presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum, and brought to you this evening by Boost Mobile. Money is power. By Bud Light, the official beer of celebrations. By AutoZone, get in the zone. And for the people, by Caesars Sportsbook. This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds for the vacant WBO Intercontinental and Silver US NBC heavyweight titles. Our judges at ringside, Tom Schreck, Robin Taylor, and Steve Weisfeld. And the man in charge at the sound of the bell, Mr. David Fields. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, presented in association with DeBella Entertainment, He weighed in at 228.2 pounds. Wearing red trunks with black trim. His record, 26 victories, 5 defeats, 2 draws. 20 of those victories coming by way of knockout. From Newport News, Virginia, Jerry Slugger Forrest. Introducing out of the red corner, presented in association with Antonio Leonard Promotions. He weighed in at 239 pounds, wearing blue trunks with white trim. His record is perfect. 12 fights, 12 victories. All 12 victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, and representing his hometown of Toledo, Ohio, Jared, the real big baby, Anderson!
Saw in that shot flanked by James Prince, his manager. He's got a great team, his original trainer. Derry Riley with him, and of course, Kay
About 10
Karoma.
rounds. I've gone over the rules in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Most of all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, good luck.
Listen, most Jared Anderson fights we've had, Dre, have been the don't blink variety, right? 5 first-round knockouts. Gets rid of a lot of opponents within the first 2 rounds, 9 of them so far. We getting rounds here tonight?
He's supposed to. That's what the plan is.
That's the point with Jerry Forrest,
That's
right?
the plan. Yeah, he's a durable guy. Takes a lot of punishment, too much punishment, if you ask me. And you want to see how the young Jared Anderson fares against a guy like this and compare that to the other guys, the other big names that Forrest has fought.
Southpaw versus southpaw. Don't get that very often. I was wondering which stance Jared was going to fight in. Oh, there it is. And I say there it is because the habit that I've seen with Jared is he leans back. He tends to get off offense, stays on the line, and pulls straight back. And Forrest understands that.
Forrest wide swinging, testing the young Anderson. And now back to the jab for Jared Anderson. That big right hand, it comes with danger.
Ooh, inside right there from Forrest.
Forrest throwing that left hand on the inside. Jared goes to the inside and throws to the body. Forrest comes back with another left hand.
So any low points in Jared's offense, especially when he gets close to Forrest, Forrest is trying to just hit him with anything he can. Oh, nice right hand right there.
Long jab from Anderson. And there's a right hand that comes in from Jared Anderson, and now he jumps on Forrest. Forrest punches between punches with a left hand that scores, but Jared Anderson right back on it, battering him in that neutral corner. Forrest covering up. Anderson letting those hands go. Right hand comes in, another big right hand. Jared Anderson scoring well against Forrest here in a very active heavyweight first round. Forrest covering up, eats a left hook. Anderson digging in. Uppercut, body shots. Forrest trying to fight his way out of this situation. And Anderson so active. That youthful energy, punch after punch. Backs him up again. Forrest clearly affected after the last minute of punishment. Jared Anderson, big opening round. listening in right now.
Unbelievable stuff right here from Jared Anderson. Combinations thrown after combinations. Jared Anderson is showing not only how physically fit he is, how tough he is, how mentally tough he is, and also he's showing how mean he is inside that ring.
Dre, not to get caught up in stats too much, but a heavyweight just threw 114 punches in the first round, landed 54, and the doctors are already looking at Jerry Forrest. Jared Anderson landed 39 power punches on Jerry Forrest, Dre.
I'm amazed the fight wasn't stopped. The referee looked in, and there were several moments he could have jumped in there, and that speaks to the conditioning and what we say about Anderson, which is he's a big man, he's a small man trapped in a big man's body.
Unreal.
Let's see if he gets after it to open up this second round. He has 4 second-round knockouts among his 12. 12-0, 12 knockouts. The next great heavyweight, according to everybody. There's a right hand that comes in. What a pace he set. And for a heavyweight, off balance was Forrest, and he ate a right hand afterwards.
And he's smart enough to know that Forrest is not out of the woods, right? And that if he steps up the pace in a smart way, he can get the referee to possibly stop this fight.
This is exactly what Jared Anderson's corner said. They said as soon as Forrest lands a punch on him, he gets upset, he gets angry, he gets mad, and he takes all of his anger that's built up inside out on his opponent.
Big right hand splits the guard. Tried to sweep to the body.
Another good flurry, and the referee is going to stop this fight. He's just looking for a good reason because Forrest took a lot of punishment. He's known for taking a lot of punishment, but how much can one guy take? He's standing on his feet, but essentially he probably was knocked out twice in that last round and just stood up.
Look at the ropes is holding him up right now.
That's right. He's trying to use the ropes. He's trying to use the corner. Digs in. Good double up with the left hand.
Oh, my goodness.
Body shot comes in from Big Baby Jared Anderson.
Here comes the doctor. They're looking for a reason. Anderson has to give it to him.
But look at the pace that Anderson, no, he can box, but look at the pace that he's fighting at.
Oh, big shot comes in. This fight is over. Jared Anderson stomping his way to victory. Chopped down the Forrest. Jerry Forrest done in 2. Here he is.
He just needed to get Forrest in the right shot. That's the right hand right there. Stood him up. Another shot on the top of the head. That pretty much had Forrest out on his feet, and it's the right stoppage at the right time. He switched up his game. He threw a lot more punches in that first round. He didn't need to do that this time around. He let the punishment soak in, and now just the right shot will get us to go home.
And he came out in the first round in the southpaw stance. Then he switched orthodox. That shows you how versatile he is. He's versatile. And the amount of punches that he threw, and the punching powers you got to deal with, the reflexes, and just that toughness right there. That's the difference. That's what I'm looking for in a heavyweight.
For your winner by technical knockout, and now the WBO Intercontinental and Silver USNBC Heavyweight Champion, Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson.
He is so entertaining, and he's 13 for 13 now. Jared Anderson, second round knockout with so much power and so much output.